Greetings and welcome to edition 2 of Stand-Up Comedy Sitting Down. I wax poetic. It's a month after Christmas and I've just got home from Goodwill where I took that god-awful gnome, the last of the gifts to get rid of this year. Now I can get back to my football and beer. Christmas wouldn't be bad if 'twas one day or two. But it goes on forever, like steak you can't chew. And it's shopping and baking and dumb decorations, stuff that for men creates major frustrations. But finally we're back to our workaday stress, not the stress that comes trying to buy the right dress, not the stress that kills and leaves you with a frown. Ask Dean Martin or Chaplin, George Michael, James Brown, who all died on Christmas. Couldn't take any more. Some laying in bed, some were found on the floor. So now, back to the gym to get rid of the pies, the cookies, the candy, all gone to my thighs. Give me stock market crashes and wars across the sea, domestic unrest or a rampant disease, stuff real men can deal with. They don't make you turn gray, like the hoopla they call Christmas, some holiday. You say, Brian, that sounds very Grinchly. Well, the more I think about it, the more I think there are more things wrong with Christmas than there are right. I mean, think about it. Do we really need another excuse to eat pie? Now, back in the day when Christmas was celebrated with figgy pudding and fruitcake, I can't see anybody gaining any weight with those as the primary fare. And I think about this whole Santa Claus thing. Wasn't Santa the type of person that your parents told you to avoid when you were a little kid? Some guy dressed up in some funny fluffy coat saying, "Here, little boy, have some candy and sit on my lap." That sounds way too strange for me. I mean, if we taught our children correctly, if they saw someone fitting the description of Santa, they would walk the other way, and if he pursued, spray him in the face with mace. Man trying to lure me with candy into his sleigh. That's silly. And then the whole decoration thing. Put them down, take them up, put them down. Make up our mind. I mean, if the decorations are nice, they should be a year-round thing, right? Leave them up. If they're not, just forget about it. However, I'm inclined to forget about it because I am not inclined to enjoy paying 3 times the normal electric bill for those couple of months. And I would think that the insurance companies would try to shut this thing down. We're integrating fire hazards into our home pretty much scot-free for a couple of months. I have not heard of an insurance company denying a claim because stuff caught on fire. It's like, okay, Mr. Griswold, nothing in your policy says that we can deny payment because that pile of dry twigs in the corner with hot lights on it caught on fire. So there we go. The whole Christmas idea, I suspect there is a conspiracy afoot. Suspected conspirator number 1, Novo Nordisk, the manufacturer of Victoza, a drug that is for type 2 diabetes. Who else but them would want you to gorge yourself on anything you can see? I mean, everywhere you go into the bank or you go into work, and there's cookies and candy and nothing made of kale, of course. Everything is just intoxicatingly sweet. It's impossible not to gain weight in December. I thought I had accomplished the impossible. My pants started to fall off. I thought, I am a medical miracle. I do walk a lot, and I tend to eat my candy and pies in moderation, not by the fistful. So I thought, hey, this is wonderful. I'll be able to publish a paper and get rich off of this magic formula. A more critical self-examination, and by critical I mean I turned sideways in the mirror, I discovered that now my back has roughly the same fat content as my ass, making for a flat surface that pants find it easy to slide down. Now I think the best course of action is probably just to check into a clinic, get the collagen injection so that I can have a Kardashian ass and keep my pants up for a little bit longer while I figure the whole thing out. Oh, a second conspirator, probably the electric company. They can't come up with a good way to get you to pay that extra $250 a month the rest of the year, but by inciting that peer pressure so that my place has to be at least as bright, if not a little bit brighter than the neighbors, at night, of course, when no one's around to look at it, we all have to pay that little extra to the old electric company. Conspirator number 3, you probably don't think of right away, but it's pretty obvious that the Egg Council is in on it. I mean, the drink eggnog, which has the consistency somewhere between oysters and snot, is not consumed or even commercially available the rest of the year. Why is it that sometime in November we feel compelled to start dumping our rum into eggs instead of the normal glass of Coke? I don't have an answer for it, so obviously some lobby with a lot more money than I've got has gotten together to start this. So I say, if you're looking for collusion, that's a good place to start. Maybe I would be less jaded if the holiday hadn't changed so much since my childhood. I was reminded of that this year when on Christmas morning I was walking down the hall of my apartment complex, taking the dog outside for his morning constitution, and nothing says celebrate quite like the smell of weed and the sound of sweet melodies of rap music bouncing off the hallway walls. Things certainly have changed. Cookies, we used to decorate. Now we're told it's not really safe for your personal information to click on them. singing the song "Don We Now Our Gay Apparel." I have no drag queen outfits, nor intend to purchase any, just so that I can adequately celebrate the season. Ho, ho, ho. Now we ask, how much does she cost? And of course, Black Friday is the term originally used to describe the financial crisis that was brought on by the collapse of the gold market September 24th, 1869. Now, of course, Black Friday describes the sound of your wallet crashing to the floor, empty and beckoning the onset of the rise of our personal debt ceiling. I could rant about the overall silliness, probably of all holidays, but for example, May 1st used to be the celebration of May Day, the sort of unofficial beginning of spring, and we would dance around poles and whatnot. Now, it is National Law Day, a day which aims to cultivate respect for the law. This evidently assumes that the other 364 days are completely void of respect for anything legal. But I digress. Hopefully Christmas will return at some point to what it once was, the simple holiday celebrating the birth of Christ, and we have good cheer and so on and so forth. What it was really intended to be was that day off of work that we can eat turkey, ham, or turducken, and take a nap and try to calculate how much tax George Bailey actually had to pay on the donations that he received, and how long it really took for the federal government to repossess the savings and loan. This concludes our final celebration of the Christmas holiday season. I look forward to talking to you once again in future episodes.